You may be thinking to yourself, what the hell is a pelvic tuck and why do I need to know about it anyways? And to that I say, touche. Oh, hello darling, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fecund Maiden, but since we're friends, you can call me Tanisha. Today, we're going to be talking about what is a pelvic tuck and how do you achieve it so that you can become the best belly dancer that you are. Welcome to your belly dance pelvic tuck class. My name is Tanisha and I'll be your teacher for the day, and I pledge the following to you as my student. Number 1, I pledge that I will create a warm and welcoming learning environment for you. Number 2, I pledge that I will be open to new concepts, ideas, and methods presented by you or others. Number 3, I pledge that I will remain transparent in my resources and share them freely. Number 4, I pledge that I will explain myself clearly with the intention to communicate thoroughly to you. Number 5, I pledge that I will be open to research and citation criticism. Number 6, I pledge that I will accommodate your learning style and accessibility requests. And lucky number 7, I pledge that I will teach from an inner space of love, gratitude, and goofiness. So if you're ready to learn how to do a pelvic tuck, then let's go, babe. So, what the heck is a pelvic tuck and why do you need to learn about it anyways? Well, in belly dance posture and alignment, we call neutralizing the hips to a horizontal plane a pelvic tuck. And it's pretty important to know how to do so that you don't injure yourself, and especially your lower back in your belly dance practice. So for example, I want you to think of your pelvic bone as this sound bowl. It's the same exact shape, and your pelvic floor and pelvic bone basically create a bowl like this, or a hammock that kind of intertwines exactly like how a sound bowl looks. So what we mean by a pelvic tuck is making the hip bones neutral. That means if I filled up this bowl with a cup of water and it was filled to water at the very brim, that your water wouldn't spill out of the front, it also wouldn't spill out of the back or to either of the sides. That's exactly what we would like to see in a belly dance posture, because it helps protect your spine and it keeps your lower back safe, especially whenever you're doing complex hip movements or shimmies or anything like that, that you don't want to injure your lower spine because your hips weren't neutral. So I'm going to show you on a human body using myself, and I'm going to break down what a correct pelvic tuck looks like and what an incorrect pelvic tuck looks like, okay? In belly dance, hips are pretty important, right? They're what we may consider some of the staples of belly dance are actually hip movements. So getting a little bit closer to the camera, I'm drawing your attention to the natural position of my own pelvis. I actually have a little bit of an anterior tilt. So what that means is that if my hips are this sound bowl, naturally I kind of have a little bit of a tilt forward, and that creates a swoop in my back. In belly dance, I have to be really mindful to neutralize my hips and to bring my sound bowl to an even position. And as you can see, that activates some of the muscles under my fupa. Those lower abs become present and activated in a pelvic tuck. But I'd rather have an activated pelvic tuck than an unactivated pelvic tuck that leads to tension and pain in my lower back. So this is what my natural posture is like. A little bit of a forward spill out, a little bit of a forward tilt. But in my belly dance posture, I'm focusing on keeping that bowl neutral so that if the water was filled to the brim, none of my water would spill out. So I'll show you really quickly what it looks like to release and tuck. And this is a good practice to just do before your belly dance practices start, or even just randomly, like when you're just like doing the dishes and stuff, practicing your pelvic tuck. So this is what I look like: untucked and tuck, release and tuck, coming to an even horizontal plane, release and tuck, release and tuck. So whenever we are doing really complex hip motions, it's best to keep your hips neutral. So whenever you're doing those complex hip motions, all of the direction is coming from those lower abs that are activated from your pelvic tuck, rather than the muscles in your back trying to move those hips for you. So what that can look like in a released, non-tucked position is something like this. It may look great, but I guarantee you over time it's going to start hurting. And with a pelvic tuck, we can do that same motion in an even more controlled way that is going to be sustainable and healthy to our bodies. So darling, let's do a little bit of a review. What is a pelvic tuck? A pelvic tuck is a term in belly dance used to describe the neutral positioning of the hip bones. Without a pelvic tuck, you can increase injury in your lower back, and it's not really sustainable over time to belly dance without a tucked pelvic bone. Why is it so important to remember your pelvic tuck? It's important to remember to tuck in your pelvic bone because over time it's going to actually damage your body and cause pain whenever your hips are not neutral. So it's a good thing to have in your belly dance toolkit so that you can grow into a strong and healthy belly dancer that can dance until the end of her days. If you are experiencing lower back pain in your belly dance practice, I recommend thinking about your pelvic tuck. Have you been pelvic tucking? Have you been pelvic tucking in the beginning, but then you get really excited and you forget to tuck, and while you're doing all those complicated belly dance practices, you become untucked? That's mine. And also, if you are still experiencing lower back pain, but your hips are tucked, you're doing really good on your pelvic tuck and staying in position, I recommend going to a belly dance instructor, showing your body to another human being and explaining why you may be feeling pain, because it could be related to something to your chiropractic needs or your physical needs from a doctor that really a belly dance instructor can't really help you with. But it's always good to go to your in-home mentor to ask for guidance, because it could be as simple as concentrating on that pelvic tuck, or it could be another type of dilemma in which you could probably seek a chiropractor for. So lower back pain, think about your pelvic tuck. If you're doing your pelvic tuck, then consult some other medical advice. And ultimately, I hope that this pelvic tuck mini lesson helped you. I would absolutely love to teach an entire class just on pelvic tuck, because I totally could do that. But hey, you got to get your little belly dance education when you can get it, and sometimes that comes from a free YouTube video. I'm so honored and blessed that you decided to watch this, and if you have any other questions about the anatomy of belly dance posture and pelvic tuck specifically, please ask me in the comments. I always read them, and I would love to reach back out to you and send resources and citations to you directly. As always, my resources and citations will be linked in the description box below, so check that out if you're interested. And if you found any value in this video, please share it to someone else so that the belly dance knowledge can be spread about the pelvic tuck and how to achieve a healthy belly dance posture. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste and peace. Ba, 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 ba. Belly dance tuck, belly dance tuck, belly dance tuck. Boop, 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 boop. We're done here. We're done. Okay, we're done here.